Sexual intimacy reflects how the marriage is going. The lack of sex can be a symptom of deeper problems in the relationship. The opposite also happens when there is a reduction in the amount of sexual intercourse, which can happen for several reasons. The relationship can suffer due to the dissatisfaction and insecurity that may appear. Intimacy is much more than having sex. It also involves emotional and spiritual trust. Sexual intercourse is the most reliable representative of intimacy in a relationship. It is a projection of it. Therefore, it can be harmed when changes in sexual life occur. When sexual intercourse ends or reduces significantly, questions about coexistence arise. Sex in marriage is about emotional security. Being naked in front of another is a synonym of trust, of exposing yourself without being judged or condemned for your imperfections and sensitivities, of letting yourself be touched and believing that the other will not hurt you in your vulnerability. Sex reflects what happens on an emotional and spiritual level within marriage. Sex has the function of strengthening the couple's intimacy and bond through mutual pleasure and trust. The sensations and feelings that caresses provoke can only be felt between two people and privately. They are responsible for nurturing an important part of the relationship. It can be said that sex is the spice of the relationship. Physiologically, sexual intercourse is responsible for the release of oxytocin, known as the love hormone. Oxytocin causes the feeling of attachment and care, necessary to intensify the bond between partners. With oxytocin, the desire to be close increases, as well as the feeling of security and calm. When the amount of sexual intercourse reduces, many people tend to think that it could be a result of cheating. It is important to consider that there are several reasons that cause this. See some of them below. It is common in relationships to experience periods of stress that require readjustment, such as deaths, changes at work, birth of a child, illness. There is no number that says how long the absence or reduction of sexual intercourse is normal. This will depend on the circumstance. In these cases, the couple usually adapts and resumes their natural sex routine when stress and anxiety subside. Some couples stop having sex frequently due to accommodation, because he believes he always has a partner available. He postpones sexual intercourse until later, another day, another week, until the relationship no longer happens. This happens in many cases due to tiredness or not finding a time that you believe is suitable for the relationship. The lack of new things in bed also contributes to this happening. Sex is no longer something that is so desired. A partner with low self-esteem may avoid sex out of insecurity. Over time, people gain weight, create wrinkles, and notice that their skin becomes more flaccid. Some marks such as cellulite, scars, and stretch marks may also appear that make the person feel less attractive. Out of fear that his partner will think he is ugly, he avoids being naked and therefore avoids sexual intercourse. The partner can collaborate by saying that they still see their spouse as attractive and that they miss the relationship. Low libido on the part of a partner also reduces the demand for sexual intercourse. It can be caused by menopause, stress, use of drugs and medications, especially black stripe serotonin regulators, which have this as a side effect. It is possible that it is a physiological reaction. Emotional problems such as depression and anxiety also decrease libido. Due to hurt feelings, arguments, and apathy, emotional withdrawal can harm sexual relationships. When the couple is emotionally distant, this emotional distance is reflected physically, and skin-to-skin contact is reduced until it becomes scarce. Lack of communication about sex directly interferes with pleasure. A couple that doesn't communicate about sex doesn't know each other's tastes, fantasies, and desires. They don't express what is good and what needs improvement. Therefore, sexual intercourse may seem boring over time and not be perceived as something of mutual pleasure. Sex is not everything, but it is an essential pillar. When what is essential is lost, the entire structure of marriage will be shaken. Many couples feel dissatisfaction with the bond they have built when sex becomes rarer, because they have lost one of the most intimate relationships that marriage provides, and often this loss cannot be replaced by anything else. This absence can cause tension, leading to fights and various daily arguments. Emotional walls, low self-esteem, and insecurity due to not feeling desired, or doubting the direction of marriage can be caused by the absence or reduction of sexual relations. In the long term, the partner can be seen as a roommate with whom one lives and shares expenses. The eroticism ends. In this way, the feeling of companionship is changed to something closer to affection and gratitude for the good things that have already happened together. But little can imagine a satisfactory future in love with that person. By no longer seeing the spouse as a sexual partner, other people start to be noticed in this way. Because of this, the desire for other people may become more frequent, making it common to imagine sexual relations with other people. The propensity for adultery increases. If adultery has occurred and you have doubts about continuing in the relationship, read the article, Cheating, Forgive, or Leave. Marriage can last a long time without sex, which is why it is not always synonymous with marital separation. It is important to understand the cause of this lack and what consequences it brought to the couple. Dialogue about what is happening is very important. It may be an uncomfortable conversation at first, but it can change the direction of the relationship. Understand together what sex means for the couple. Some couples feel more need than others to have sexual relations, so what is normal for one couple may not be normal for another. What really matters is not the quantity, but how satisfied they are with what they have now. If dissatisfaction exists and causes emotional damage, it is necessary to change for the good of the marriage.